Can you all hear me? There we go. Thanks very much for coming. This is second day of Food and Wine Christmas show, and the first chef today is Sunil Ghai. But just before he comes out, I want to introduce you to our wine editor, Raymond Blake, who has chosen all the wines to go with all the food today. We're going to taste. There's Raymond there with a lovely bow tie he has on. And all of the wines that are going to be shown here to go with the food today have been very carefully chosen by Raymond. And when you're finished, you can go over and taste them over in the Edward Dillon experience over there, and indeed buy them if you wish. And now, of course, what you've all really come to watch, Chef of the Year 2009, Sunil Ghai.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Thank you very much. Now, you were in a little bit earlier prepping. What are you going to start with?
I'm going to do a duck, basically Barbary duck breast with some figs and passion fruit chutney, and we'll go for fish later on. Sea bass with whole spices. I'm going to do this recipe from the book with Atul. I've done a few recipes with it. So.
Oh, you have a book?
Yeah, we have a book of recipes.
I think Sunil has a book.
You've done a book there. So
we're starting off with the
duck breast.
Okay.
It's basically a kebab. You can do it in the oven as well at home. We're going to start with the duck breast, the whole thing there with the skin on. Cut this into big chunks, whatever ways you like it. And
how many will that serve now?
Serve maybe one or two people.
One,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, all the kebabs, whatever we do, you have to marinate it overnight. Same with the duck breast. That's the Degi Mirchi red Kashmiri chili powder we are using here.
Red Kashmiri chili
Kashmiri chili powder.
Kashmiri chili powder, okay.
It is not very spicy, but it gives a natural color.
Ah, okay.
And then you have a ginger garlic paste. It's equal quantities of ginger and garlic. Grind it.
How did you do? Do you just blend that in a blender?
Just blend it in a blender,
with a little bit of oil?
A little bit of water or oil. Some malt vinegar in it. A little bit of oil. Some salt.
Yeah.
And some star anise powder. That's the key ingredient in that. That's the flavor. Star anise seed?
Star anise powder?
Yeah. And you just put the duck inside. Marinate it. Nicely.
Mix that all up.
Yeah.
Maybe you could bring the camera in a little bit here and look in on top.
That's the way it is.
The hands of an expert.
Yeah, you need hands for that. And just leave it overnight, and for that we need to make a second marination as well. For the second marination we use yogurt, basically without water, hand-cut, or you can use a Greek yogurt as well. So
sorry, this one here now we're just going to let it, you can do that the night before.
The night before you have to do it.
And then leave that, and then we're moving on to the second
part.
What
it does, the salt goes in and all the spices it takes in, and it gets tenderized as well. Okay. And for the second marinations, I'll just use a plate here.
And this is also to go with this now. So
yes.
This is yogurt.
That's the yogurt. Some more chili powder. And a little bit of salt we'll take. Make a nice marination.
There's a lot of stuff with your hands.
Wash your hands before you do it.
I suppose that makes less washing up. I know everybody else's ramekins are quite boring catering standards. All of Sunil's are silver. Very successful restaurant then, obviously.
It's going well. And you're ready to cook it. You can just put that into the oven on 180 degrees centigrade for 10 to 12 minutes, and that will be done.
10 to 12 minutes?
Yeah. And we're going to serve this with the passion fruit chutney. It's basically a passion fruit puree. Start with some oil. I've done it before here because it takes a lot of time to cook it. And Ross said you have to finish it in 10 minutes.
That's okay. I'm not rushing off the stage just yet. So this is to go with the duck, yeah?
This is to go with the duck, basically. It has a little bit of oil, tempered some nigella seeds, onion seeds there, and some freshly cut red chili. Seasoned with salt and sugar, nothing else in it. Okay. That's done. And we're going to do it with some nice fresh figs, grilled, to go with it.
You could just put them under the grill.
Onto the grill with some little bit of olive oil in it. That's it. You don't need anything else.
Now, if I did that in my apartment, the alarm would go off. Have you got one of those in your apartment? I make toast in my apartment and the fire alarm goes off.
Oh my goodness.
That's just revealed that I can't make even toast.
Is that working?
And then you've got one already cooking in here, do you?
Yeah, yeah. One is almost ready. We're just going to do the plating on that. And
Ooh, that looks good. Well, while Sunil is taking that out, maybe we had, I don't know if you heard our ads on the radio throughout the week, and we'd lots of great competitions going on, and several people were lucky enough to win a place at the chef's table. So if they'd like to make their way up onto to the table now, Sunil Ghai is cooking here for you. Yeah, I'd bring all your bags and coats. You never know with that crowd. Take a seat there. So this is the last stages. Now, what's this here?
that's some micro leaves.
Micro leaves.
Yeah.
Is that when you don't have the patience for the whole plant to grow, you just pull it?
That's
No,
the way it has been
isn't it?
grown, yeah. You get a lot of flavors out of that.
Because they're so much smaller, and the flavors are concentrated. Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yes.
Are you okay? Margaret is here from Miele. Oh, great. Thanks a million. Thanks a million. That's okay, I'll tell. And if we could just make... Raymond wants to be made live, apparently. Sound. Colette? Colette retired to the sound room over here. Are you on? I don't think so. Okay, let me just... Could you turn Raymond's sound on? Thanks.
Is that better?
There we go.
That's better, is it? Okay.
Raymond's going to tell you a little bit about the wine, because he's chosen the wine to go with this particular dish.
Now, the wine I've chosen, folks, is a Wolf Blass President's Selection Cabernet Sauvignon. You're probably fairly familiar with the Wolf Blass name. There is actually a man called Wolf Blass, by the way. He emigrated to Australia from East Germany about, say, 50 years ago. And quite literally, in 1966, he started in a tin shed. Normally, those stories are concocted, to sort of, he pulled himself up by his bootstraps and all the rest of it. But it's true. Turned it into one of the biggest companies, one of the best-known brands in Australia. And you may remember, I certainly remember the first time I tasted a Wolf Blass wine, maybe 20 years ago. And a friend of mine said, "Jesus, you better go and taste this wine." And all I remember was fruit bursting out of it. It was as if they'd packed 2 bottles worth of flavour into it. And in choosing to match it to this here today, a lot of people would think maybe you should go with a white wine, with Indian food. But there's nothing wrong with a red wine, so long as you can get something that's sufficiently fruity and not too tannic. So we're going to see how this goes now.
This was an easy one to match for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, because I love the duck as well. So Cabernet Sauvignon 2006. Plenty of fruit flavours, not too strong in tannin. Thinking of things like black currant, a little bit of mint flavour, eucalyptus coming in there as well. But these are the real judges here now in front of us.
This is going to be Nouvelle Cuisine portions here.
Okay. Now we better have a drop ourselves.
Oh, I'll have a little bit. It's after 11. It's 5 to 12.
No, I meant myself and Sunil will have a drop. Now, how about that? And if you're keen to try what this wine is like, remember it's over on the Dillon stand. That's for Ross.
I'll just do that. Now dive in there. I wouldn't be waiting for one person to start.
So let's
look,
a little
the Queen
taste.
Mother has left her hat on the table again. It's the battle royal going on here with the table decorations.
Now, one thing I always tell people when they're tasting wine, you're allowed to do what you were always told not to do, and that's slurp.
Should you lose some cutlery there?
Draw the air through it, you get much more flavour there. So what I'm getting there, as I said to you, is oodles of fruit. The fruit flavours,
Lovely. Thank you very much.
black currant and things like that, dark